When I moved to New York, I needed like a manual because I'm coming from Charlotte, North Carolina. This shit was like totally foreign to me. I didn't really know what to expect. So I figured I can give y'all a little bit of information as far as, what to expect when you move to the city. And not only that, but just like how to be a transplant. Because I've been hearing like a lot of discourse lately on transplants and like people moving to New York and not knowing how to assimilate properly. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Rule number one, all right, if you're moving to New York, that goes for like artists, photographers, students, black, white, women, man, doesn't matter. Rule number one, mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Be polite. Learn the customs. Learn how things operate. If your neighbors are loud, it's okay to say something, but just remember that you are moving in, and it's probably been going on long before you moved there. All right. So mind your business. Also, don't be helping everybody. I understand that people are compassionate. You come from another place. You know there's people down on their luck. And you want to help. You want to reach out and you want to do stuff for people. Don't do it. Chill. Learn the lay of the land first. Okay? Don't get me wrong. People are down on their luck. But some people do that as a full-time job. Don't get in the habit of giving money to everybody. Learn how to ignore. Okay? Sound crazy? Sounds very non-empathetic, but learn how to ignore people. Straight up. We will go broke trying to help every less fortunate person on the train. All right. Tip number 2. Make sure you find a crib or a place to live near public transportation. And when I say public transportation, I'm specifically talking about a train station, all right? You don't want to be confined to the bus when you are just new, when you just get here. I didn't know what to expect. I just figured that there was a train station close to every place, every building. It was always accessible. No, the train don't go everywhere. The train does not go everywhere, okay? And if you are not along that line, your life will be very inconvenient. Make sure you live along the train line and make sure you have these 3 essentials, okay? A rolling cart, an unlimited Metro card, a winter coat. You need these 3 things. Oh, right, okay. But yeah. See, don't say nothing, just keep walking. She's doing her thing. This next tip is based solely on personal experience, okay? You can take it or not, but I would say limit your places that you will move to. Certain parts of Brooklyn and Harlem, and maybe a few parts of Queens. I would say like maybe Astoria, Long Island City, but you want a transplant-friendly neighborhood. You need accessible transportation. You need a grocery store that's not too far. You need delis. You need possibly restaurants in your neighborhood. You can't live in a food desert as a transplant, especially not without a car. If you are just coming, transplants, if you are coming, you better be close to a train station or a Yeah, train station. I don't even recommend you just taking the bus exclusively. Because again, y'all not ready for that bus. Yeah. What's good, bro? All right. Now, next order of business in being a respectable, good transplant. All right. Be a part of your neighborhood. All right. Be a part of your neighborhood. Mind your business, but help out the old ladies. Speak to people. Just be friendly. You know what I mean? You can be a transplant and be friendly. Nice little family coming down the block. Amazing. It was the very first neighborhood I lived in. And I was living with my man Yachty. And he lived in this neighborhood over on Notion Avenue. But I live on the other side of the neighborhood now. The times where they do trash in New York City is just so interesting. I guess it's because there's so much trash pickup, you know. They do that shit in the middle of the day. Usually it's in the morning when you are in other places. So we broke it down where you need to live, how you need to live close to the train station, have that public transportation accessible, be friendly. What else? Oh, don't call the police on people. Don't be a Karen. All right, transplants. Another lesson in walking in New York City. Just walk like you drive. I mean, you drive on the right side of the road, walk on the right side of the sidewalk. If you need to stop, you pull over. Don't stop right in the middle of the sidewalk. If you don't want people running into the back of you or getting annoyed, also don't take selfies, but at least don't stop and take selfies. I'm literally filming myself, but I'm keeping it moving. Also share the sidewalk. Don't walk in the middle. You know, there's a mutual understanding between you and the person that's coming that we are each gonna move a little bit. It's a mutual understanding. All right. So I came out here all the way by the City Bikes because I needed to spray this painting that I've done with oil pastel. I got one coat on before my damn spray can just started tripping. Made it to the coffee shop. Little iced latte. And just let me clarify for a minute that as far as transplants, I'm talking about like maybe from a younger demographic. You know, if you're like an older person and you got non-roommate requirements and things like that, this really ain't for you. I'm talking about young transplants who are trying to maybe make a name for themselves in a certain industry or something like that. You know, when you're trying to make something of yourself, you move to New York. I'm talking about those people. All right, just to clarify. Now, also, these aren't like rules. This is more like reference materials. You know, my people who are not from New York, who you need like a guide to move here. Because everything is not just like common sense, cut and dry. You know, it's a little nuance to everything. You probably don't know this. This is like a hack. And this is also, if you live in New York, you can actually use this too. The best apartments, you're not gonna find them on like your Street Easy, your really popular mainstream websites. You're not gonna find the best apartments there. Nope. Let me tell you where you find the best apartments at. You ready? Find the best apartments on Craigslist. Yep, that's the cheat code. I shouldn't have told y'all that because, you know, I don't want y'all all flooding Craigslist. But yeah, if you are a newbie and you're trying to move to New York, go to Craigslist. Damn that Street Easy and all of that stuff. That's cool. All of those, you can find apartments there. Don't get me wrong. You can find apartments on Street Easy and rent.com and all of these mainstream websites. You can find it. But little old ladies, you know, from the Caribbean, little West Indian ladies who own brownstone, they don't be on Street Easy. They be on Craigslist. Every apartment that I have had in New York City, I found on Craigslist. And every apartment I've had in New York City, my rent has been under market value as far as what, you know, what most people pay. I'm from the South. I can't pay exorbitant rent, even though my rent is more than, you know, if I lived in Charlotte or Atlanta or South Carolina. I still pay relatively low rent for New York City. You know, living in Brooklyn. I live in Prospect Lefferts. Don't move to my neighborhood. Get off of them fancy websites and get your behind on Craigslist. That's where you're gonna find the joints. Right? And I'm on the heated side of the street. So I'm gonna cross over real quick because I need shade. I'm walking right in the sun. It's good for my lighting, but it ain't good for my my body temperature. So I'm across the street. All right, we're feeling a lot better over here. If you can help it, you need to be able to stay someplace for a year before you actually decide on exactly what neighborhood, where you want to stay, and where you want to settle. These neighborhoods are like little small cities, or more like they're like little small villages. The more amenities and conveniences that you have in your neighborhood, the better off you are. But all neighborhoods aren't, you know, created equal. You know, some of these neighborhoods, you don't even have a deli. You don't have a bodega. There's no stores. You know, there's no convenience. Definitely pay attention to those things when you move to these neighborhoods. You need to know what you're getting into. All right. You need to know how late the Y-ins stay on the corner at night, you know, because you got to walk home from the train station, you know, after these parties that you're going to be attending, these events, you know, and then you take the train and you come back to your neighborhood. You know, it's good to know that stuff beforehand. All right. You need to know if there's a homeless shelter on your block. You know, I've done that. Moved into an apartment, but it was a homeless shelter right on the block with me. You know what I mean? It was actually a men's homeless shelter too. You know, it helps to know that beforehand. You know, nothing wrong with that. I never had one incident with that situation. However, it could be a bit of a shock. What's the next thing I could tell you guys about being a good transplant? Assimilate. Yeah, sometimes you gotta hit reset on the day. Like yesterday, I woke up, I was in somewhat of a rut. Just wasn't feeling it, you know? I was just like, what the hell? What the hell? It was already like 12 p.m. and I don't like to go to the gym that late. I like to get in and get out. But for some reason, I just felt like I needed a reset. So I went to the gym, went crazy on the cardio, did some core. That was all I needed. I got back, I went home, new motivation. Sometimes that's all it takes, is to get one win, accomplish one thing, you know, because everything else is like, all right, I got one thing done. Let's continue this momentum. You just got to get yourself one win. Build off of that. When the day starts off messed up, just concentrate on getting one win. It's like my man over here, who'll be doing the fruit. He never fails. He be out there. You know what I mean? He's out there moving that fruit. No matter what. He ain't making excuses. He ain't like, okay, I'm not gonna go out today. He is like out here doing his thing. That's what you gotta do. Whatever it is you do, get out there and do that.